guys, it's Thai iced tea time. Ro and I decided that we wanted Vietnamese, and I hadn't had a Thai iced tea in quite a long time, because normally when I go in there I get a Vietnamese coffee. So, absence makes the heart grow fonder and all of that, and I said to myself, my goodness, I could go for a Thai iced tea. It's been a while, and it tastes more delicious than ever. Also, I was told by Courtney on pain of death that I had to wear my new bow tie on the show, but now I'm going to take it off. And the reason being, because I didn't think that this would bother me as much as it does. I hate that it clasps right here because you can see it. It defeats the okay, obviously, I'm not going to tie a perfect bow like this. I'm not trying to fool anybody, but that doesn't mean that I want to see the clasp, right? Like, I don't want to see that. And I was like, maybe you can, like, scoot it around. Like, maybe, like, you can move it. No, it's all sewn together. So, I still love it. I'm still happy that I have it. Got it at a thrift store today for dirt cheap, along with this. Oh my gosh, you guys. I was there with Aaron, Courtney, and Ro. We were at the thrift store, and I think it was Aaron picked this up and was like, "So, you're getting this, right?" I was like, "That looks so comfortable. I'm gonna try it on first because it's got the weird neck, and who knows if it's comfy, but it says Wild Fox on it, and it's got a cool neck." I was like, "Ah, I want this." So, spoiler alert, I bought it. I also bought a pair of slacks because I've needed slacks for a while. Every time that there's a reason for me to wear slacks, I'm like, oh no, I don't have those. I can never find them in my size. And I found a pair that must have been tailored because they fit me perfect, including lengthwise, which is unheard of. So I said, I better snatch these up. And then these were there for like $2. I was like, wow, all the bow ties. I guess I'll just get a black one. But yeah, so those were my spoils of the day, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So last night, I went to the Meltdown signing for our calendar. The calendar looks so cool. It's gorgeous. If any of you have been wanting to get the calendar, I will put the link to the website in the description. You can totally buy them from there. The ones that you'll buy on the website, I don't think will have the like limited edition cover. I'll show you. I will show you the cover that they have. I got one, even though it's like for me, I got one that's signed by all of us. Where's the signed one? I can show you that one if I can find it. There are just a lot of them in here, guys. So is this it? No? Well, I'll just show you the cover anyway, whatever. So that's the cover. Women of Geekdom 2013 calendar. It's so cool! I'll show you guys mine. Oh, Satines is so pretty. But I know you all want to see mine, so I really love it, actually. That's mine. I am the month of February for 2 reasons. 1, because it's the shortest month, and I am a very short person. And 2, because of Valentine's Day and my original show being called Press Heart to Continue. I thought that it was cute, but, oh, here's the one that's signed by all of us. Yeah. Yay, our little signatures on there. I don't know why I signed my own. Don't worry about it, guys. I have a few in here because I purchased a couple for other people. But, yeah. So we had a lot of fun. And it was nice just to, like, hang out with the girls because I hadn't seen all of them in a while. So, I got to just, like, hang out. And then when it was over, there was cosplay karaoke was going on at the same time at Meltdown. And so I got to see a little bit of that, and it was great. And we went and got tacos and drinks afterward, but I had to run from that to go see Wreck-It Ralph, which was a great movie, by the way. It's like a love letter to video games, and I just really, really liked it. The references in it, I don't think that you have to know a lot about video games in order to see it. So if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know if I should bring my significant other to it, or I don't know if my parents would want to go see this, that sort of thing, because I was talking with my mom about it this morning, and she said, yeah, but I don't know a lot about video games. Like, would I still like it? I think that the storyline is universal enough, and they don't get so deep into it that you're confused. So, I think that it translates really well, regardless of how much you know about video games. I think that it's just so cute. Oh, and the little opening, you know how in Pixar movies they always have like a little cartoon at the beginning? Oh, it was so cute. The whole experience was just wonderful. And I got there just in the nick of time because we went to the Grove, and for whatever reason they had blocked off one of the entrances into the parking lot, and I was like, no, I gotta get in there, because I was a little bit late because I was coming from the screening. So I got there, I literally came in at the very end of the last preview. I missed the previews, which is really sad. I love previews, but I got in there right before the movie started, and I was like, yes, yes. And we went to see the 3D. If you're waffling back and forth between whether or not to see the 3D version of Wreck-It Ralph, I can honestly say I don't think you'd be missing a whole lot if you didn't watch it in 3D. I'm not a huge fan of 3D anyway. I just go to 3D when the majority of people involved in the viewing really want to see it in 3D. But they didn't utilize it very well. It seemed like an afterthought, or they didn't really care about it. So, I don't think that I don't think they ain't really missing anything. If you didn't see it in 3D, it's cool. Uh, but yes, so then this morning we had planned on going on a coffee adventure. There was a big list that Aaron Lee found of the top 10 places in LA to get coffee, and I was like, that sounds like a great vlog. So it turns out we didn't go to any of those places. We were like, oh, on Sunday, we're going to go on a coffee adventure, and it's going to be amazing. And we wound up going to places that weren't on the list at all. But the best place that we went was Earth, URTH. It's in Santa Monica. And their coffee is delicious. It was so good. Courtney suggested it, and she was like, yeah, guys, it's like really good. I promise you it's really good. But my expectations were still low, and I'm not sure why. It's like, our tastes are different. It might not actually be all that good. And then they brought it out to me, and it had like a little flower in the foam, and I was like, oh, so cute. And mine was the first that came out, and then it took a while for the other ones to come out, and I just really wanted to taste it so bad. And I got it strong. So when I like licked a little bit of the foam just for fun, the foam was super strong, and I was like, oh, oh, oh. But the coffee itself was so tasty. It was, it was just delicious. And the feel of being in there, they have a lot of seating, like tons of seating, especially outside seating. And it just has a very homey, outdoorsy, nice feeling to it. So if you're ever in Santa Monica, I definitely suggest going to Earth, URTH again, because it was just so good. So Courtney, that was a fantastic suggestion. And then after that, we were gonna go to, there was like a farmer's market that was going on really close by. We were like, oh, we could go to the farmer's market. But Aaron had to be back home pretty quick. So as we're walking down the street toward the farmer's market, we were like, well, maybe we can just, walk through and not worry about it. And then we saw a thrift store. And Courtney was like, oh, I see some pretty awesome shoes. I will be right back. And ran in there. And then I really wanted to go in there anyway. So we all just went into the thrift store and literally spent the rest of our time in this thrift store. And I got the slacks and this and the bow tie. And I was very happy. Courtney got new shoes. Ro got the most adorable shirt ever. She held it up. And it was one of those moments, when you know somebody really well and they're like, should I get this? And it's so perfectly them that you're like, why are you questioning this? You don't even have to try it on. Like, that was the reaction that I had. It was the most adorable, like, little lace top. And she held it up and I was like, that was meant to be yours. She tried it on, it fit her perfectly. I was like, you have to buy this shirt. And she did, don't worry. Did Erin get anything? Mm-hmm. I can't remember what she got, though. I'm a terrible friend. I memorized what the other people got, but not Erin. Yeah, then we actually did walk through the Saturday market to get back to our car. But, I don't know, it was fun. Like, we did a lot of things, but it didn't wind up being, like, too packed. And then I went back to Meltdown Comics because, like a dummy... Okay, so I got 2 copies of the calendar last night. One that I purchased and one was just, like, for me. And I had them in that white envelope. And right before I left, I went to the bathroom. And guess what, dear reader? Yes, I left it in the bathroom. And I was racking my brain. When I got home, I was looking all over my car, all over my room. I was like, did I bring it inside and I just don't remember? Like, where did it... I finally realized that I left it at Meltdown in the bathroom. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to go back. Which is fine, because I love Meltdown. So Ro and I, after everything was done, took a quick trip into Meltdown, and a couple other people had requested calendars. Courtney and Aaron both wanted calendars, and so I was like, alright, I'm going to pick up an order of calendars, and the ones that I already bought, and hopefully they're still there. And thank goodness they were still in the bathroom. But it was so funny because the bathroom that I had left them in is kind of like off in a corner. And I went over there, I think 3 different times. Like, there was lots of space in between. And every time I went there, there was somebody in there. And I knocked the door. I knocked on the door the 3rd time that I went over there. Because I was like, somebody is dropping the biggest deuce. So I knocked on the door. And then this tiny little girl voice goes, yes? Who is it? I was like, what's happening? Am I in a movie? Am I going to die? So I just slowly backed away from the door, and not like a minute and a half later, this little girl in a Batman costume comes out of the bathroom, and I was like, were you just like hanging out in there? Like, what was happening? So then I went inside, and oh, thank goodness that envelope was there. Oh, that would have been the worst. Oh my goodness. I would have been so sad if they weren't there, because the signed one was in this envelope, and we weren't all there anymore. We couldn't re-sign it, so I was like, oh, thank goodness, it all worked out. It's okay. Ugh. So that was my day. And then I bought a bunch of stuff for my room. Because, you know what? I made the mistake of thinking to myself, I wonder if there are side tables that are made to also hold litter boxes, because that way I could consolidate like a pretty huge square of space in my room. Guess what? They totally make side tables that are made for litter boxes. Heck yeah! So I bought one. It's on back order. The color that I wanted is on back order. I could have gotten it in white, like, today. But, I was like, I don't want it in white because it's going to be next to a black bed frame. I just want it all to, like, make sense together. And I'm like, I just want this thing. So whenever it's available, just send it to me. The other thing that I bought is something to replace this shelf right here. Because, I wanted something... This like makes me really excited because I don't remember how I searched for it, but it worked out so well. So I wanted something that had like doors that would open with a bunch of shelves in there so that I could have all of my craft supplies and not be worried that the cat was going to get into them, because that's like, for whatever reason, that's a huge fear for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many toxic things in my room. Like, I keep so many of them up there because I can't keep them on these shelves, but then there are still things on the shelves that really shouldn't be there, and I'm just like, oh, it stresses me out. So I found a shoe rack that is like, it's shaped like that. It's just like a little bit wider, and part of it has doors, and there's a small part of it that has no doors. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. So I bought that too. Oh, it's okay. One day I'm gonna get this room all figured out. I feel like every time I do something, I'm like, oh, that presents a new problem. I've been asked by you guys so many times, like, where is the room tour? It's because the room still isn't done. I don't have a bed frame. I haven't figured out what to do with that, but now I've kind of figured out what to do with that. When I get my little tiny side table, what am I going to do with all of the games that are in this big black thing right here? So many questions, but I'm going to do this for reals. It's going to be awesome. Anywho, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. It's almost 16 minutes. I'm done. But I hope that you guys had a great weekend, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah!